looking back at my journey, there was a point in time when I awoken. At the time, I didn't realize exactly what was happening, what was playing out. But looking back on it, I realized that was the point in time that I began to awaken, and it began to go at God's speed and transform me into a better being, transform me to someone with better discernment, transform me with someone with better understanding. And I'm sure that you can see within your own journey when you were faced with the narcissist. You know, for majority of the time we had our sleepers on. We had our natural defenses put in place from God and the universe that helped us repel the narcissist along the way. But they was always fearing you to awaken, you know. They was always fearing that eventually you're going to wake up and see through exactly what they are. That's what they always had at the back of their minds when they were with you. When is this person going to come out of their sleep and realize exactly what I am? And it's oftentimes that they do one thing, and this one thing makes you think, hold on a minute, this don't make sense. I'm not saying that they was devaluing you or anything like that. It could be something totally separate, just something they do. It could be a few words they say, and you get a realization and an epiphany, and you think, oh my God, this person's full of crap. This person, this is the beginning point of the awakening, and you transform from that point onwards. And many oftentimes, the narcissist will pack their bags and run, and they'll try and discard you in the most tumultuous way to make you feel and lose your bearings of exactly where you are. Please press the like and the subscribe button. Help your brother out. Take 2 seconds of your time. But this is a huge blow. They see in your eyes at that point in time when you start questioning them about something. You start questioning them about what they're doing. You wake up to it, and this is the beginning point, man. This beginning point is a beautiful thing, because it's finally when you've got the glasses on, you've finally seen through everything that they are. You finally see through the manipulation. You finally see exactly what they are, and it makes you somewhat come separate from yourself. It's like, in one mind, you're thinking the whole illusion thing that they painted to you. You're thinking everything that they portrayed to you, you know, this loving relationship, they're your other half, or family member, whatever. They, you know, on one side you've got this mind, this you're that way inclined of thinking, but on the other side you've woken up and you've got that epiphany and that realization that you're actually dealing with someone who is a full-out liar. And in my circumstance, it was based around the lie. But in your situation, it might have been something else that was triggering the birth of your awakening and transformation into the super empath, you know. And in my situation, when I woke up to it, it caused them to try and, what's the word I'm looking for? Like start making the situation worse, you know. They started escalating. That's the word I'm looking for. They started escalating it, trying to draw me out to different locations, tried to draw me out to different, not locations, but to different points, to try and make me forget about exactly what I've seen through them, you know, because honesty was a very important factor in our relationship. And I always said that if I catch you out about lying about one thing, it stands for a lot more. Yeah. And I caught them out about something, and this was the birth of my awakening. And I remember the separation, the split mind, you know. On one side, I wanted to think it was a loving relationship and I wanted to overlook it, but on the other side, I couldn't believe it. And when I seek solace in people, to trying to get some understanding about the situation and stuff, which is not good to talk to other people, but when you're trying to deal with a narcissist, it's like you kind of sometimes need to talk to other people. They were saying, oh, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. But I saw through it, and you know what? Like I wasn't aware of how worse it was going to become. I wasn't aware of how explosive it was going to become. But this awakening that I'm discussing now, this birth, this transformation, and what you're still transforming into now, this is the biggest blow and the biggest death to a narcissist. They always knew you had the potential to awaken to their crap. They always knew that eventually you might see through them, and it was one of their underlying fears that they honestly feared it throughout the time that they was with you. They feared you waking up. They feared you transforming into the super empath that you are. And at the same time that you got the realization and the epiphany that you're dealing with a demonic entity, you're dealing with someone that's from darkness, that you've seen through their rouge, their disguise, and how they're masquerading through life with artificial light. You finally got the eureka point and moment. You might not have been that widespread, it might not have been that connected the dots, but you finally got that dot to connect. You finally went from point A to point B, and you've seen through them. They saw it in your eye. They saw the glint in your eye, and they saw the transformation taking place before them. And this is why I say a lot of the covert ones will go running. You know, they will go running. They'll go for the discard. They'll try and knock you off your feet. So you're left guessing and wondering, and they're trying to lure you back into the feelings of love, and they're trying to lure you back into that feeling and make you remember the love bomb and stuff like that. But they fear the super empath. And the thing is now, a lot of you lot, they might not even want to come around your vicinity nowadays. They might not want to come around your vicinity because they fear the ramifications that are going to take place. They fear what will happen to them because you know what they are and you've worked them out. And by you working them out, you know, some of them, it will escalate, and they'll try and maybe possibly go for a huge smear campaign. They also know in the deep core of their spirit they've lost you. They know everything that they done was wasted. And this is why you always had this in you as a super empath. You always had this in you, and they always knew the potential of it being there. But the moment that you transcended into the newfound self of a super empath, that was the beginning birth. And where you are on your journey now, this is why I say it's only getting stronger. You're learning more information. You're not the same person you used to be. Yeah, this is the death of the narcissist. This is the death of them. They lost the only thing that they put so much effort into containing. They put so much effort into containing you and making you feel, they put so much effort into containing you and molding you to what they wanted you to become. But God and the universe, they said no. They didn't allow it. It didn't happen. God or the universe gave you that intuition to see through them. And it exposed them. You seen them exposed. You saw through it. And this is the end for the narcissist, you know? Because they know that they had a chosen one. They know they had an empath. But you was asleep. And you wasn't awakened yet. And what plagues their mind now going forward is they look inwardly, yeah, and think, why did I do that? Why did I bait myself up like that? Why did I bait myself up like that? So this is why it will get a lot more toxic, a lot of escalation will take place. They'll start drawing for any straw. They'll be clutching at straws, drawing for any straw, because they know if they confront you, you're most likely going to discard them. You're most likely going to cut it off with them. You've already detached. They know it from a higher perspective than you even know it at the time. And hopefully this is a refresher for you to look back in retrospect and see how much of a threat you held to them and they knew you would make them accountable for what they done to you. Yeah, so don't forget that. If they've discarded you after, or they've run out on you after, believe you me, they're running scared. They're running scared off into the distance. Yes, they will probably go and find a new supply. As hurtful it is that to say, that might still hurt you. I hope it doesn't. But you've got to understand this new supply will never be like you. It won't equate to you. And they often lower the bar. They often settle for something less than you because they realize they're not as worthy of being with someone of your magnitude. You see? They realize that they're not worthy of being around someone like you in their vicinity. They realize that they're not as powerful as they once thought. You see, their ego is built up very high through the course of the relationship while it was with you. They was feeding off you. This was what was making them shine, you know? So once you expose them, you strip that shine from them, you strip that glow from them, you strip everything from them. And it was just with one small point in time, and that was the birth of the super empath. That was the birth of the super empath. And if some time has gone on since that point now, they will be checking on you to see how much far you've come in your journey. They know. They got exposed. And it's a huge threat for them. It's a huge threat. So if they've tried to cover it up by discarding you or running out on you, disappearing on you, going to just go and jump to someone else straight away when you haven't officially broke up with you, or they've done some other hurtful things, you've got to understand this is just the repercussions and their way of dealing with the situation. You know, they'll make it more hostile, they'll make it more toxic. And because they know exactly what they've done and they know exactly what you woke up to, and they're suffering severe consequences. Yeah, I've mentioned in another video, they often go and start to get into drugs, alcohol. They may have dabbled with it in the past, but they'll often get a lot more toxically involved with drugs, become drug dependent. Even legal pharmaceutical drugs like tablets from the doctors and stuff like that, they might become dependent on opioids, and you know, they'll become very dependent on something, and it'll be their crutch for them to try and cope in this world without you. And they become very what's the word? They're just defeated. They become very defeated. They stop having that outlook at life. You know, everything seems so picture perfect like it used to do with you. You know, and they realize as well that you are transforming at such a rate. You're an awakened super empath, a chosen one, and they don't even want to be around your vicinity to see that journey. And if they do want to be around your vicinity and they're still trying to reach out to you and they're still trying to draw you back in and they're still clutching at straws, it's only because they want to try. They're probably more overt than covert, and they want to try and bring you down. They want to try and nip it in the bud. They want to try to stop your awakening. But believe you me, it won't happen, because you've got God and the universe on your side. It won't happen. So this awakening now is a beautiful thing. It's a very beautiful thing. You see, you've awoken to their toxic behavior. You've awoken, you've seen through them, and it was from something small. I guarantee it was something small that sparked it, that give you that intuition, that give you that realization, that give you that epiphany, that give you that thing to actually see through their rouge and their disguise, you know. So embrace the fact that you've become an awakened super empath. You've awoken to the fact, because you was always a super empath. You was always an empath. You was always chosen, but it was just people around you that stopped you realizing your true potential and what you are. So don't be caught up on them. They're counting on the trauma bond now. They're counting on a devaluation. They're counting on the toxic way they discarded you to make you start looking inwardly and blaming yourself. That's what they're counting on. That's why they leave you alone. That's why they leave you in a solitary environment, so you start looking inwardly and attacking yourself. You know, they're hoping that you go down toxic paths that they go down, maybe getting involved in promiscuity, sleeping around a lot, getting into drugs or alcohol, coping mechanisms. They're hoping for that. So try and clean your energy. If you are indulging in those things, try to clean it a bit. Yeah, try to clean up a bit. We can all try to do better, but you've got to understand these are things and pursuits in life that they're hoping you go down to try and close your mind, to try and close your vision. So embrace the awakening, love the awakening, embrace it, treasure it, because it's a beautiful thing. And I know it might have been painful and I know it might have hurt, but it's the most beautiful thing when you get some time past it. You know, if you're still fresh in the jungle with it all, you're still in the battlefield with them now, very, very soon after and stuff. Yes, you might not realize, but I tell you from experience, as time goes on and you look back, these people become less and less important. They become less and less valuable. You start to see them less in a light. Yeah, you start to see them for exactly what they are, and that trauma bond doesn't stand a chance. Yeah, that demonic soul tie, as I like to call it, doesn't stand a chance. So anyway, I'll leave the video there. Please press the like and the subscribe button, and if you want a one-to-one session, you can find the details in the description box. Be back with another video later. Peace.